Hello, everyone. This is Matthew chapter 28. We are finally on the last chapter of our Bible study, and I'm just super excited to just jump right into it. I've already prayed, so we're just going to get started. Now, after the Sabbath, toward the dawn of the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to see the tomb. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for an angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone and sat on it. His appearance was like lightning, and his clothing like snow, white as snow. And for fear of him, the guards trembled and became like dead men. But the angel said to the women, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you seek Jesus who was crucified. He is not here, for he has risen, as he said. Come and see the place where he lay. Then go quickly and tell his disciples that he has risen from the dead, and behold, he is going before you to Galilee. There you will see him. See, I have told you." So they departed quickly from the tomb with great fear and joy, and ran to tell his disciples. And behold, Jesus met them and said, "Greetings." And they came up and took hold of his feet and worshipped him. Then Jesus said to them, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell my brothers to go to Galilee, and there they will see me." This is the first time he calls them my brothers. So that's interesting. When he says greetings, this just means hello. This is a Greek greeting. And note that they felt compelled to worship him, and he received their worship. He didn't say, "No, no, no, don't lay down at my feet and worship me. Like, I'm not the one that you need to worship. It's God the Father that you need to worship." Like, he received their worship. And that's not the first time that he received someone's worship. But if you notice, like, when the angels come down and they talk to people in the Old Testament or whatever, like, people would bow down to worship them, and they're like, "Why are you worshiping me? Like, don't worship me, worship God." But Jesus received their worship. That's another sign or another thing that tells that he is God in the flesh. Like, he will accept their worship because he's worthy of the worship. Okay. So the tomb was so well guarded, we can be certain that nobody stole the body. Custodia means guard. This is Pilate's maximum security. Like, they're not messing around here. He is one of the most popular men of the time that was sought to or thought to cause a revolution, uh, riot, or raise up the people against Rome, especially for the Jewish people who they know he said that he was going to rise again in 3 days. So they are going to guard that temple with everything that they have in them. This is a very famous person, famous tomb, and they don't want anything happening to that body. And I find it interesting that the only thing that the Jewish leaders had to do to prove Jesus wrong would be to produce a body. Do you think, like, I think that they spent loads of time trying to find that body, trying to search for that body, just so that they knew, like, they would know that they had proof. Say, "No, look, here he is. Like, here's Jesus. You all are crazy." So of course they would have looked for the body, but they never found one because there wasn't a body to find after he ascended to heaven. Okay, so the tomb was secured by a material obstacle, by a stone. This is the material obstacle. It's large and set at an incline, or an inclined channel. For sure, it couldn't be rolled from the inside. So it's for sure that it could not be rolled away from the inside. So something on the outside would have to roll it away. The disciples, I guess if you had enough of them could roll it away, but they couldn't do it in a quiet manner. So the soldier had said that he fell asleep, and the disciples may have come and took the body or whatever. But there's no way that he would have been in that deep of a sleep guarding the most famous tomb in history. There's just no way. And then all the disciples come and roll that stone away quietly to get him out of there before they woke up. There's just no way. So anyway, um let's see. The seal was human authority. So the seal was a rope overlapping the width of the stone, covering the entrance of the tomb on either side of the doorway. Was a glob of wax securing the rope over the stone. You couldn't move the rock without breaking the seal. The Roman guards watched the seal being placed. They were responsible for what was inside. To break the seal means you defy Roman authority. So the guard, there was four soldiers in the guard. This is human strength. Two watched, and then two would rest. Then two would watch, and two would rest. They were fully equipped. If the seal was broken, they would lose their career or be executed. They were not going to sleep on the job. There's just no way that they would have slept on that job. Two would have been watching, two would have been resting, but never would they all have been asleep at the same time with such an important job to do guarding this tomb. All right. Mary and the other Mary came to finish the preparation of Jesus's body, which was cut short by the Sabbath. This is in Luke 24:1-3. So after the Sabbath on Sunday, the first day of the week, they came expecting the dead body of Jesus. And the great earthquake, Matthew alone notes this earthquake. The earthquake didn't cause the stone to roll. If anything, the angel rolling the stone prompted an earthquake. I mean, who knows? Just speculation there. The Roman soldiers were terrified, and they trembled and they fainted. So they weren't asleep. They became terrified, and they became like dead men. The stone wasn't rolled to let Jesus out, but he could pass through material barriers. We know that if you read the other gospels, it talks about how Jesus like walked through a wall, or he suddenly appeared. Like he could walk through barriers. That stone wasn't keeping him in there. But the stone was rolled away by the angel to show others what was inside of that tomb, like to see what was in there, or so that they could look in and see him gone. See the place where he lay was the same people who watched his body being placed there. There's no possibility of a mistake. They would have seen them place Jesus' body in that tomb. So when they went to look and see where he lay, they would have known that's exactly where they left him. And then the girls, they went to that tomb after the Sabbath to anoint Jesus' body. They knew where he was laying, but he wasn't there. So it's not like they went and found a random tomb and was like, oh, there's nothing in there. The angel instructed them to be the first messengers of the good news of Jesus' resurrection. Women. So that's interesting. Okay. Let's see. All right, we're going to read the next part. So while they were going, behold, some of the guard went into the city and told the chief priests all that had taken place. And when they had assembled with the elders and taken counsel, they gave a sufficient sum of money to the soldiers and said, tell people his disciples came by night and stole him away while we were asleep. And if this comes to the governor's ears, we will satisfy him and keep you out of trouble. So they took the money did as they were directed. Okay. And this story has been spread among the Jews until this day. So they knew the truth. The Roman soldiers knew the truth. And they still rejected it. And even the chief priest that they came to was like, his body's gone. He's not there anymore. So they knew the truth. They knew his body wasn't there. And they still rejected the truth. They're like, okay, we'll make up this story. They've went a long way around just to deny Jesus. Like they could have it would have been so much easier just to say, okay, he rose from the dead. But they didn't. If they were asleep, how did they know it was the disciples that came and got him? That's a question that people would have definitely been asking. If you were asleep, how do you know who came and got him? So that lie just doesn't make sense. But people still believe it to this day. So to believe the lie of the soldiers, you would have to believe that all soldiers were asleep. Sorry, my hair is wild. All soldiers violated strict Roman military law, sleeping on watch, which is punished by death. All soldiers slept so deeply that none of them were awakened by the work, exertion, noise, and the noise necessary to roll the stone away and carry out a body. And all the soldiers were so soundly asleep, yet they knew who did it. So you'd have to believe all of that to believe that the disciples came and stole the body while they were asleep. It just don't make sense. Let's see. Okay. Now the 11 disciples went to Galilee, to the mountain to which Jesus had directed them. And when they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. And Jesus came and said to them, All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you always to the end of age. So notice it said all nations, not just Israel, not just Jewish people, but all nations. And that includes us, the Gentiles, people who are not of Jewish descent. The authority of Jesus indicates this commission is not a suggestion, but a command, like an officer reminding of rank before giving orders. The disciples are made. They're not spontaneous at conversion. So make disciples. And he says, Jesus came to them and said, All authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. So that's what that means. An officer reminding of their rank before giving an order. So he tells them, All authority has been given to me. Now go. Go and make disciples. And to make disciples, it's not an instant, oh, I'm a disciple of Jesus. I'm a follower of Jesus. I'm a disciple of Jesus. You're a disciple when you're a student, when you learn from Jesus, when you read your word, when you do these Bible studies, when you go to church. Like that's you being a disciple. You are made. You are not instantaneous. It doesn't happen like, oh, I'm saved, I believe in Jesus, and I'm a disciple. Like it takes work. It's a process. It's a journey. And I also wrote when it says baptize in the name. So in the name, it implies entrance to an allegiance. The disciples are baptized of age. Anyone of age who can be taught and who can observe the things that Jesus commands is who can be baptized. 3 persons, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, but name, not names, signifies the unity of the 3. Disciples are made through teaching. Jesus sent them, but not alone. He promises his constant presence. He said, I am with you always. And we work with him. His presence means protection, power, and peace. Him with us means he will protect us, direct us, comfort us, carry on the work of grace in us, and more. This is a promise to us. So Matthew was more interested in showing us the promise fulfilled in Matthew 26:32, which is 26:32. Well, but after I'm raised up, I will go before you to Galilee. So Matthew was more interested in showing us that promise fulfilled, that he did actually go to Galilee, that he didn't mention the Jerusalem appearances as John did. This wasn't their first meeting here when he gives them the Great Commission with the risen Jesus, but it was an important one. At this meeting, they received their apostolic commission. Distazo, Distazo, maybe. Anyway, it does not denote a settled unbelief, but a state of uncertainty and hesitation. The fact that some doubted argues against it being a hallucination born of a desperate desire to see him. So, just the very fact that some doubted. And I thought that was strange too when he rose and he went and he met with them and it said some believed, some doubted. Just the fact that some of them doubted it proves, because there are some people, I guess is the word. There's some people who will question what the Bible says, and they'll say, well, all them people seen him, they were all hallucinating. They were all having the same hallucination, which for one thing sounds crazy. But for another thing, the fact that some doubted is proof that it was not a hallucination born of just a desperate need to see Jesus, a desperate want to see Jesus, so you see him. I'm doubting that I'm seeing you right now. Yeah, I want to see you, but this vision that I'm having in front of me is not Like, I don't even believe what I'm seeing. Like, this, I'm doubting it. So, this goes against that theory that everyone was just hallucinating. And Jesus actually revealed himself to 500 people. 500 witnesses that weren't the disciples had seen him after the resurrection. That's not mentioned in Matthew, but that is mentioned elsewhere. And there was people who were raised from the dead that broke out of the graves, that people witnessed, that seen him, and they went out and was preaching Jesus, so um it's much easier to believe this stuff than it is to try to come up with, oh, well, this happened or that happened, just trying to make an excuse of why you can prove it wrong, when really the evidence is so strongly pointing toward it's real. So, I don't know. I guess that's all I have. And that's really sad. But I hope that you guys understood it. I hope that you learned something that you didn't know before. And I just hope that you see Jesus in a different light. Maybe you learn something about his character that you didn't know before. I don't know. But knowing these scriptures and reading these scriptures, it doesn't really mean anything if you don't know him. Knowledge can only get you so far. It's what you know in your heart. So I do want to get that across. Like, just knowing this stuff, it means nothing if you don't know him, if you don't have a relationship with him. I can know every word in this book. I can know every chapter, every verse, every story, inside out, backwards, forward, deep, the Greek and Hebrew translations of it. I can know all the things. But if you don't know him, you know nothing. If you don't truly know him, you don't know anything. So I do enjoy Bible study. I do enjoy getting in the word and digging deep and learning about the context and the history and like all these things. But even if I only knew him, even if I only had a relationship with him, like, he is what we need. So, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to just reiterate and let you all know, like, you don't have to know everything. You're not going to know everything. Like, I know people that have been to seminary school and, Bible college and whatever, and they still say, like, I don't know anything. Like, the deeper you go, the deeper you realize it is, and you truly do not know. You cannot ever know everything about it. It is so deep, but it is so easy to understand in some ways. Like, the gospel is meant for a child to read and understand. So anyway, don't lose the heart of it when you're studying. Don't get too wrapped up and down on yourself if you can't understand something or you don't know something or whatever. It's about knowing him. And the more you read his word, the more you're going to get to know him. And that's the main important thing. Like, knowing Jesus' heart in this, knowing the Lord's heart, knowing how much he loves us. This is a story about him and how he redeemed his people that he created and that he loves so much. So anyway, don't lose sight of that. Um, but yeah, I guess I'm gonna get off here, but I love you guys, and I'm just grateful that I got the opportunity to study with you guys, and I pray that I'll be able to do another one soon. And I just pray that this helped you all. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. If I don't know the answer, I will try my best to figure it out. But I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.